Just a week after the Kazan BRICS Summit, the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, unexpectedly announced its withdrawal from the mBridge payment scheme of the most high-profile cross-border central bank digital currency, CBDC projects. Control of the mBridge system has now been handed over to the central banks of China, the UAE, Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia, and Thailand. This announcement came just days after concerns surfaced about the network potentially being used to evade international sanctions. However, BIS head Agustín Carstens denied that the decision was linked to BRICS or these concerns. Given China's leadership role in the mBridge working group and its recent initiative to open-source blockchain-based software, many question whether the timing of the BIS announcement is merely coincidental. Project mBridge, launched in 2021 as a collaboration between BIS and the central banks of China, Hong Kong, Thailand, and the UAE, welcomed the Saudi Arabian Central Bank in June of this year and has several observing members. This blockchain-based cross-border payment system aims to streamline and speed up settlements between central banks, similar to the SWIFT network, but with lower costs and greater efficiency. With China and the UAE both members of BRICS, the connections between China's open-source initiative, BRICS' push for an independent payment system, and BIS's recent exit are hard to ignore, especially in the context of de-dollarization efforts discussed at the Kazan Summit. BRICS has been actively discussing de-dollarization in global trade, particularly in response to the heavy sanctions imposed on Russia following the 2022 Russia-Ukraine conflict. The mBridge system offers an ideal solution for cross-border transactions. It's faster, reliable, and sanctions-free, eliminating the need for payments solely in US dollars. Russian President Vladimir Putin criticized the seizure of $300 billion in Russian currency reserves, calling it theft, and warning that the US would regret weaponizing its currency and payment systems. He predicted this would accelerate the global shift away from the dollar. Given the deteriorating relationship between the US and China and their ongoing trade tensions, BRICS includes at least two influential members, China and Russia, interested in developing an alternative payment system. As the world's largest economy based on GDP purchasing power parity, PPP, China's leadership in launching a system that challenges SWIFT and reduces reliance on the US dollar would significantly impact global financial dynamics. Although BRICS is clearly moving toward de-dollarization, the US dollar remains dominant. It is involved in 88% of all forex transactions, and central banks still hold about 58% of global reserves in dollars. While the greenback's dominance is gradually diminishing, it will continue to play a crucial role in international trade for the foreseeable future. At the recent BRICS Summit in Kazan, discussions focused on settling trade in local currencies. However, there was no formal announcement of a new BRICS currency, disappointing some observers. Instead, President Putin presented a symbolic BRICS banknote. Although he described a unified BRICS currency as premature, Russia has hinted for months about developing a blockchain-based payment system, similar to cryptocurrency. Josh Lipsky, senior director at the US-based Atlantic Council's Geo-Economic Center, noted that the BRICS debate underscores how payment systems have become a geopolitical issue. The summit, hosted by Russia, heightened Western concerns about Putin's ambitions for a cross-border digital currency that could challenge the existing financial order. Josh Lipsky described mBridge as the world's most advanced central bank digital currency, CBDC project, and the only one processing real transaction volumes. He expressed surprise at the timing of the BIS withdrawal, suggesting that discussions at the recent BRICS Summit about cross-border digital assets and alternative payment systems may have influenced the decision. At the BRICS Summit in Kazan, Russia, the mBridge platform was presented as a potential alternative to the US-dominated international financial system. President Putin accused the US of weaponizing its currency against BRICS member states. The summit included mBridge participants, China and the UAE, along with Iran, another country facing significant sanctions. Lipsky commented, "If there's even a possibility that mBridge could support these ambitions, the West wants no part of it." He emphasized the importance of considering the potential consequences of BIS's exit, noting that China will almost certainly continue developing the project independently. Without BIS involvement, Western institutions like the U.S. Federal Reserve will lose insight into the system's operations. According to Lipsky, without Western oversight, mBridge is likely to become a China-led initiative. He concluded, China can develop it on their own terms, and the West will have less visibility into its transactions, partnerships, and technology than before. He noted that China is unlikely to abandon mBridge and may integrate it with existing systems like the Chinese Cross-Border Interbank Payment System, CIPS. This integration would give China more flexibility to incorporate its CBDC projects into other cross-border payment networks. Whether or not mBridge is directly linked to BRICS, any progress toward financial independence supports their goal of de-dollarization and reducing the West's ability to impose sanctions or control international trade. China has played a leading role in developing the mBridge technology, with commercial banks collaborating with founding central banks to conduct real transactions. For instance, Bank of China Hong Kong has fully integrated mBridge to facilitate automated cross-border remittances for corporate customers. While full de-dollarization is still a distant goal, BRICS is steadily moving in that direction, and this process is expected to accelerate in the coming years. BIS General Manager Agustín Carstens denied that mBridge aims to help BRICS countries, including Russia, circumvent sanctions. However, actions speak louder than words. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on important international topics. Thank you for watching.